You know, we spend so much of our lives collecting labels, don't we? Successful, introvert, rebel. But what if the most important thing we can do, the real work, is learning to let them all go? Today, we're going to dive into that journey, the one back to our authentic selves, way beyond all the titles and expectations. So, let me just ask you something right off the bat. Have you ever felt like you're just playing a part in your own life? Like you're constantly trying to live up to someone else's expectations, and the person you show the world isn't really you. If that feeling hits home at all, trust me, you are definitely not alone.
So where does this all start? It really begins with what we can call the illusion of labels. And these aren't just words. Think of them more like the prisons we accidentally build around ourselves. From the moment we're born, society starts handing us these little tags, fitting us into these neat, predefined boxes that can feel pretty much impossible to escape.
I mean, just think about all the labels we run into every single day. Successful, introvert, parent, rebel. They come from our family, from the media, and then the really tricky part happens. We start to internalize them. They become the script for our lives, telling us how we're supposed to act and trapping us in roles that maybe we've outgrown or, honestly, that never really fit us in the first place.
And this is the great irony, right? We use labels trying to make sense of the world around us, but in the process, they can actually stop us from understanding ourselves. We get so attached to being the smart one or the failure that we completely lose sight of the actual person underneath it all. So who are you really when all those labels are stripped away?
Okay, so how do we break free? This is not some new age question. The search for who we really are is a timeless human quest, and you know what? Ancient wisdom has left behind some incredibly powerful keys to help us unlock our true selves.
What's absolutely fascinating is how all these different ancient traditions basically arrived at the same conclusion. Gnosticism talks about gnosis, this deep inner knowing that you have a divine spark inside you. Buddhism teaches anatta, the idea that yourself isn't some fixed, solid thing. It's more like a dynamic, ever-changing river. Taoism encourages wu-wei, which is all about effortless action that flows in harmony with your true nature. And Sikhism has ik-onkar, the recognition of one universal divinity in everything, including you. See the common thread? Your true self isn't something you go out and find, it's something you uncover from within.
Let's take the Sikh concept of Shabad, for example. It refers to this idea of a divine vibration, a frequency of truth. The whole idea is that by connecting with this inner vibration, we can tap into a universal self, one that exists way beyond our own ego and all of society's labels. It's really about tuning into your own core frequency.
Now, all this wisdom is profound, but turning it into action, that's where the real transformation happens. So let's get practical. Let's break this down into a 4-step path that you can actually walk to start uncovering the person beneath all those layers.
All right, step 1, observe without judgment. Just watch what's going on inside, your thoughts, your feelings, without calling them good or bad. Just notice. Get curious. Who are you when no one's watching? Next up, step 2, identify your values. What truly, deeply matters to you? Is it compassion, freedom, integrity? Aligning what you do every day with these values, that is authenticity. Step 3, actively challenge your labels. Question the stories you've been told about who you are. Ask yourself, is this truly me, or is it just a role I learned to play? And finally, step 4, practice presence. By focusing on the here and now, the weight of past labels and future anxieties just starts to dissolve, and the real you gets a chance to show up.
So what's the payoff for all this? What's the result of this whole journey? It's the freedom of simply being. Embracing your authentic self isn't just some small personal tweak. Believe me, it is a revolutionary act that changes everything.
When you start living from your core truth, your relationships transform because you attract people who connect with the real you. Your sense of purpose becomes crystal clear because you're no longer chasing someone else's dream. And maybe the most powerful thing of all, your authenticity creates this incredible ripple effect. You give other people the unspoken permission to be their true selves too. The difference is just stark. A life defined by labels feels so constrained, right? It's like a constant performance for an audience that isn't even there. But an authentic life, that is expansive. It's about living with real purpose and creating genuine connections with yourself and with others. It's truly the difference between living in a cage and having the whole open sky.
So as we close out, I want to leave you with this question to really think about. Look inside right now and ask yourself, what is one label, one story, one performance that you are ready to let go of today? The journey to your most authentic self,
It starts with that single, powerful step.